one day.
One day. Welcome to episode number 273 of the Canadian Prepper Podcast, recording on April the 12th, 2026. My name's Eric, host of the show, based in Southern Ontario. I'm a target shooter, ham radio operator, a hunter, computer geek. As a first responder, witnessed an over-reliance on emergency services during major events and started a small preparedness company to help people get better prepared for at least 72 hours, if not longer. I think I remember how to podcast, maybe.
Yay! Jeffrey.
Jeff doesn't remember.
Can't hear Jeff at all.
Muted.
Apparently, I'm not the only one with technical issues tonight.
Nope. No, we can't hear Jeff at all. We'll move to Brad and let Jeff kind of try to figure his stuff out.
Well, I'm Brad.
Is that better?
Oh, there you are.
Oh, there we go.
5x5.
Okay.
Go for it.
Sorry about that. The non-techie guy. Yeah. I'm Jeff. I'm based in Central Ontario. I'm a target shooter, ham radio operator, general overall handyman, weather nerd, and not a computer techie, as you just noticed.
We're all rusty. It's fine.
It's been a few months.
It's been a few.
And I'm Brad. I'm in Eastern Ontario. Consider myself a part-time amateur prepper, constantly trying to better myself.
My name's Cher. I'm a tactical beard owner, based t-shirt merchant, and apparently also affiliated with Gay Sparkly Cups now. A government critique, reason we hit the explicit button, and a very strong competitor for the position of Jeff of anti-tech person.
I can agree with that.
Oh man, that's okay. We'll get you using Linux yet, Pierre.
Yep, we'll get there.
I'm the frugal gunny. I'm an off-gridder shooter. I'm a hunter, fisher, gatherer, trapper type. Definitely a generalist. I'm really big in self-sufficiency. After spending nearly a year off-grid and then another one away from home, I'm now back in the Ottawa area. And started a new training business called Off Grid School.
Very nice.
Where we teach all manner of off-grid skills to small groups and in hands-on, basically in-person environments. No virtual, all real.
No headsets required.
That's right.
Well, different kind of headsets. They're hooked up to comms and noise canceling.
Okay, I'll agree with that. Yeah. No VR.
You actually have to be in a room with people?
No.
Ew.
Pierre, you can do that?
You can be in a field with people.
Fair enough.
Very good.
That's better than a room, I think.
We'll put that to the test.
So everybody listening out there and watching, if you want to help support the show, you can buy some swag. We have both the Canadian Prepper Podcast t-shirt and the tactical Velcro patch at www.prepperpodcast.ca. All the proceeds help to cover our podcast costs.
And if you're enjoying the show, please take a few minutes and submit a review wherever you found us. We want your feedback, good or bad. We also invite you to reach out and tell us about something you've learned this week. You can email us at feedback@prepperpodcast.ca.
All right, so we've got some content. Yep, just content because we really haven't been on for a while. So it's been a while since the last episode. But we're going to start off with some recent news. We'll update you on our personal preps. Then we're going to get into the main topic, and we're just doing a catch-up chat. Let everybody know where we've been, what we've been up to, and just get an episode out so you guys know that we're still here. So we'll move into the news. And I know this is going to be shocking, but I've got a news article here that has to do with radio. Weird for me.
Oh.
Strange, I know. But if you hadn't heard, I know not much has changed. Nope, still a radio nerd. But weather radio service in Canada was shut down at the end of March, which sucks. But all the weather repeaters across the country, all 200 and something of them, are completely offline, no longer operating. And I'm sad.
And so am I. Being the weather nerd, you know, Eric and myself and a group of us, we go out on a fishing weekend up in the middle of nowhere. There's no cell service. So the weather radio was our only way to find out what was going on for weather out in that area. Now we're up the creek. I think it's stupid and ridiculous. Government's got millions of dollars to spend. Actually, I'll just shut my mouth right there because I'm just going to say something really bad. So we'll just leave it at that.
I was like, we're going to go down a rabbit hole that I'm well versed in.
Let's do it.
Way more than you push a button. You are going to be at my trial one day.
Probably.
But there will be a petition at some point going forward to have it renewed or put back on the air.
Actually,
if that happens, we'll let you guys know. Is it going now?
It is actually already there. I believe Perfect. I put a link to it on Discord.
Yes, you did.
Fantastic.
I will find it. There is a government e-petition. It came up about a week and a half ago. I'll see if I can find it and I'll plop it into the show notes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's a big loss.
Yeah. Which won't affect most people, which is the unfortunate part. So most people live in Toronto, work in Toronto, vacation in Toronto. They will never think of the benefits of this program that used to be around there or was beneficial for you guys. Go travel far away for time away from everything. That I think that it's lost on a lot of people that it's not a thing that is necessary. It's necessary, but for a small part. And the fact that it's being disbanded because we don't have the tax money for it, but we do for many other things that we would all disagree with is definitely a thing. So
the fallback is you can just use your cell phone and the internet, which again that works in suburban areas and such, but as soon as you get in the northern areas it doesn't work nearly as well, and that's where you have those repeaters going. But
I just dumped the link in the show notes there, Eric, if you want to post it
perfect.
On the chat.
I can get it up in the
for
chat.
For some reason I tried and it won't work.
Awesome.
So,
It's my opinion that politicians only care about vote-rich areas.
yes.
Well, we're not going to get into
That's weird.
Weird, right?
Again, that's
I don't know how that works.
Nice.
Podcast episode.
Yeah, that's y'all ain't ready for my ideas.
But I might be on the wrong podcast here.
That's Monday. Yeah.
So now a question I put out there is what happens to all the repeaters? So they're going to put them up for sale as is and let like a radio club buy it, or a group or something to be able to purchase it?
Were they strictly weather radio repeaters, or were they piggybacking weather radio along with like regular ham repeaters? See, I know technical stuff too.
Well, that was very technical. They were most likely housed on multi-use towers, so they've just shut down that portion of the tower. So it'll just be repurposed.
It's not $1 million tower we've paid for that's now going to use.
No, it would just be something new would be put on it, and they would just keep running.
Okay. I was just worried the tower is going to be like a migrant.
Oh boy.
Here we go.
Yep. I see Brad's got some fun stuff mentioned in the news section too.
Gas prices, they fucking suck.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Brad's the reason for the explicit button tonight. Pierre, he beat you to it.
Absolutely.
With everything I've said, that's what you're going to hit that for? Okay. Like, I'm just saying.
I was in Val a couple weeks ago, and that was what I posted on the chat there, 198 something or other. And
wild.
My brother, my sister-in-law in Newfoundland, her parents run a gas station and garage and whatnot. The day before I posted that in our chat, she had asked what the gas prices were here. So I told her they were, around the 198, 190, whatever it was. She told me that gas prices the next day at her garage was going to 206.3 or something like that.
Yeah.
That was just ridiculous.
I was in Montreal, not that whenever that crazy hike went up, and I mean it didn't go much further down or whatever, But like, I got a new work truck. It's diesel. Pulled up to the pump. My gas light's on. I was like, I'm just gonna go where I need to go, do what I got to do, and then $2.47.9, $2.48 a liter for diesel. And then I have a few people I talked to that's in the US, and they're like, oh, well, is that a lot? So I was like, okay, well, what's, a liter of gas is 3.8 liters of gas is
For
a gallon, right? And I'm like, yeah, I'm paying like $11.60 a gallon for diesel. And it blew them away. And I was just like, yeah, Quebec always ends up being more expensive for stuff or whatever. But I was just like, $200 and 120-liter tank gave me 3/4 of a tank. I'm like,
Well, I had to fill up my truck the other day. Now, mind you, it was like empty. I was waiting to try and hope the prices will go down a little bit.
Yeah.
So just filling my truck was $198.
yeah, like, and
goddamn.
what's your truck? Your truck's not that crazy big.
Oh, it is. It's a full size Tundra with the 5.8 or the 5.7
Yeah.
gas. So I
So you
mean,
got
it's a
what,
it's a
120?
great truck, and I needed it for pulling my firewood trailer and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's
But
great,
100
but it won't pass a gas station.
120 liter?
130
liter?
actually.
Yeah,
But yeah, close
130.
enough.
Yeah.
I mean, I put like 118 liters in it, and it was like I said, $198.
Yeah,
Jeez.
yeah, and it's just so they don't want to restrict our movement per se. They just want to make it unaffordable for us to go anywhere to visit each other and be more efficient.
Staycations, here we come.
Mhm.
Yay.
So before I move on to mine, quick, somebody did ask in the chat, did they give her an actual reason for shutting down the weather radio? Not that I heard. They just kind of
Cost.
said, well, with new technology and you've got the apps and you've got this and you've got that it was redundant. I think it's crap.
They also jumped up and down and said it's costing too much to maintain it, which I
but
think
like I said,
is
they'll
just
give
horseshit.
millions of dollars to other countries for gender identity
Yeah.
stuff. Oops, did I say that out loud? I did.
You did.
I did.
Yep.
Oh well.
But
So
they
I
are
have a
spending the
podcast.
money there, aren't they?
Yeah.
Mhm. Anyways,
Does
so I'll
that
just
mean my
piggyback
taxes
on
are
what
going
Brad
down?
said. Obviously, the conflict that's going on in the Middle East that we're not really going to talk about too much because we're not that political, is obviously causing these outrageous prices for everything. I mean, food's going up, fuel's going up. Ireland just had some pretty massive protests over this.
Yes.
And they, at one point, they tried to bring in the military, and a whole, what I was told at least, or heard the rumblings that a bunch of the military people said, we're not turning on our own people for this. Like, this is ridiculous. And anyways, long story short is the government caved a little bit. Unlike Canada, when we had the trucker protest, the government wouldn't budge an inch. They agreed to reduce the tax on their fuel by 10 cents a liter and to do a couple other things. And the other people kind of said, okay, for now we'll let it, we'll
Let it
kind of
go.
back off.
Which all ends up costing taxpayer money. So did you really save?
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't have an economics degree, so what do I know? Let's carry on.
Mm.
Well said.
Frugal.
Oh, so a little piece of news. So for all of you Canadian gun owners out there, I know it's a pretty dark times these days, but we have some recent good news, maybe, on the news front. The CCFR has announced that the Supreme Court of Canada is going to be granting leave to hear their appeal. And this is about the use of an OIC in 2020 to prohibit more than 2,500 types of firearms without, of course, any kind of normal due process. And so we've been battling this for quite a while now. Pretty much a lot of us out there have seen things that we own be declared prohibited. I personally take issue with having been made criminal overnight with the fell swoop of a memo written by some probably What did they call them back in the day? Alan Fotheringham called them
incompetent.
The boys with the short pants, I believe, is what they called the folks working at PMO.
The gays?
They called them the boys in the short pants. And that
gays?
was the folks who actually really run government. So that's where that OIC came from. And the CCFR has been wanting to battle that, I think, quite a bit. And so the fact that it's going to the Supreme Court is kind of good news for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's fantastic that they actually picked it up.
Yeah,
That's a big deal.
I'm going to be sort of the devil's advocate on that now. Unfortunately, don't get me wrong. I'm 100%. It should be gone. Whatever. Yeah. My concern now is it appears that through somewhat nefarious terms, the Liberals are going to end up with a majority, and I feel if the court squashes it, they're just going to use their majority, and they'll ram it through the House as a regular bill, and then they'll just ram it through, and we're going to be stuck with it anyways. I hate to say that. I hate that's going to happen, but I'm thinking that's
in a non-gun related way. I'll ram something to them.
At this point, I have to agree with Jeff. It's most likely the way things are going now that they are going to get their manufactured majority. That being that, I know that the CCFR is going to be really buoyed and really boosted by the fact that we're going to the Supreme Court because we knew that in the federal court things were going to end up the way they did. That was not a huge surprise.
Yeah.
But the fact that the Supreme Court is going to take it up kind of is. One, if one is conspiracy inclined, one might say that, well, the Supreme Court's very liberal leaning heavy, and so we can kind of expect it to be quashed up there. But at least the legal questions will be heard and deliberated on. I know that the judges have been activists of late, so I don't know how well this is going to turn out for us gun owners in the end. But I like many others have been holding on. And
if there's any, I know you don't think the Supreme Court will rule, and I'm kind of thinking the same way, but I didn't think there was a snowball's chance that they would quash the Emergencies Act, and they did.
And you know what? There's that.
Very good point.
Yep.
There's that to at least keep us a little bit of sliver of a hope, right?
Okay. So I have a question. I'm hoping you guys understand, or someone in the chat, someone. So let's just say Supreme Court wants to hear it. They're going to pass it through law. But even if it was unconstitutional for them to do an OIC and it's wrong, even though it was passed because they have a majority, would that kibosh the fighting of the OIC and because it was passed in law because they bought enough conservatives to cross the floor?
So the court can kibosh the OIC in the appeal, and then things would reverse back to the way they were. But then if the Liberals have a majority, they could then take the same thing they tried to put, or they did push through in the OIC, and they can try to push it through an actual law and go through the proper process because they have a majority. It would be a lot less challenged, and it would probably work its way through a lot quicker is the idea. But if the Supreme Court hears it and they quash it and they find it unconstitutional, we go back to as if it never existed, and then the Liberals can stand up and push it through the House and make it a law instead of an OIC.
All right. That's
So
my
now,
understanding.
quickly,
Government.
just wondering one thing here. If when Carney's term is up and let's say he gets voted out and the Conservatives get in, can they not go and change that law?
Yes, absolutely. They can, if we have a majority government that does whatever, they can go back and forth every term, switching laws back and forth as long as they have enough to push it through. But at that point, we're just beating a dead horse where I'm like, we should do a lot better with all the money that the government spends compared to everything for this. But yeah, if they push it forward and then we get a majority conservative that wants to switch it back and they push it forward and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we can just do the flip flop every 4 years of like,
but in the meantime, the guns that the Liberals ban while they're there, chances are they're going to end up in a smelter or they're going to end up somewhere. And even if the Conservatives come back, those guns aren't coming back. The list will be gone, but what you had will also be gone.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Horrid.
They can revert our state to non-criminal overnight if they want to, but once the property's destroyed, the property's destroyed, right?
Yeah. You
Yep.
can't get it
Yep.
back.
Yeah.
That's the problem. But we'll see what happens. Right? All we
Yeah.
can do is cross our fingers, hope that
Yep.
things fall the way we want them to fall in the Supreme Court with the appeal.
Yep.
And then if things change again from there, well, we'll just see. We'll ride it out,
Like-
right?
Yep, we'll just have
You know,
to.
there's always
to let
boating
it play out.
accidents that occur, right?
Absolutely.
No,
All the
no-
time,
no
even
more,
in the wintertime.
no more sad stuff.
Crazy.
Ice
Craziness.
fishing accidents happen all the time. Man.
Mhm.
Canada,
It's
right?
so sad. Yep.
It is. It's unfortunate.
Allegedly.
Shall we move into what we've done lately for preps? We'll
Work,
kick off with Brad.
work, the usual stuff. Had a decent Christmas. A bunch of fuel rotation. Right now, I'm working on some hot water tank problems today, and going through the motions of putting my parents' place up for sale. So that's what I'm about.
That'll keep you busy.
I continue to up my preps a little bit with generators and power and backup stuff. So I've scored a few more propane tanks off of Facebook Marketplace that people wanted to get rid of.
Not Walmart?
What's that?
Jinx, Brad.
There's only one person that got tanks from there, and they're not even on this podcast, right?
That was me.
They're right there. Yeah.
Screw you.
Okay, no, so
Okay,
it was you,
Jeff got
and
him.
it was also Better Andrew. Better Andrew, I think, got him as well. And everybody else got screwed out of those tanks. It was-
And by proxy, I got tanks because Jeff got tanks. So
Yep.
oh, yeah. I forgot you guys have that mutual disagreement.
Yep. So over the winter, I had to get a. Everybody knows we had that massive ice storm about a year ago now, and over the course of the winter, I had several compromised trees that decided they didn't want to stand either, and one of them, well, it did fall, but it got caught on another tree, thank God, or it would have been on my house again. So I had to get a tree service in, and the only way they could get to it and deal with it was with a massive crane. And so anyways, $5,500 later, I got 7 trees. I figured while they're here and I'm paying through the nose for the crane, I might as well get everything that I think is dangerous taken down. So they took 7 trees down, and it is what it is. Over the winter, I don't know what it was like for a lot of other people. In my general area, we got very close to 500 centimeters of snow over the whole season.
Holy crap.
So that's around 16 feet, give or take.
Mhm.
So we got buried.
Sure did.
So that didn't help with the tree situation either, with the heavy wet snow on them. So I also did some more experimenting with my canner, and I'm still trying to get comfortable with that. And
Well, obviously, it's working because you're still alive.
Yep.
yeah, I
Didn't blow
haven't
up.
blown a
That's
hole
good.
through the roof or anything yet. So yeah, that's good.
Yeah, your complexion looks good. You know, you're
Yeah.
No new skylights.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, awesome. I know this one again is going to be strange for me, but a little bit more radio setup. Played around with getting some new fancy antennas set up. So I've got.
And I can profess it is a fancy antenna. It is very nice.
It is. Yep. It auto tunes itself. You just push a button. It adjusts. It's a screwdriver antenna, so it just moves up and down. It adjusts itself to the frequency that you're on, and just brings the SWR right down nice. So
for us
That's cool.
idiot people, Pierre, it's idiot proof. Almost.
pretty much push a button, does the thing. It's great.
Yep.
Okay.
Bought a new truck, so that was exciting.
What
Which means I get the. I'm not going to say Ford, so it's okay. I picked up a Dodge Ram.
I was like, I bought a Ford.
Yeah, I bought a Dodge.
That's a good one there.
So now I'm starting to plan out the radio setup in that, because in the old Chev I had all the radios all set up and working, and now I'm radio free, which makes me sad.
Oh.
So planning on that all out, I've got it pretty much all figured out. It's just working up the courage to run wiring in a brand new truck. So
Sounds like
we'll
you should
get
have
there.
worked that out in the deal of the truck.
I tried, they wouldn't do it. So it is
Then
what it is.
Find a new dealer.
Yeah, fair.
If they want you to buy a new truck, and I'm like, hey, I will pay for you to put all this in. They're like, we're not doing it.
Yeah.
Okay, there's another dealer.
Yeah, true. This is
But
true. But they gave me a really good price, so
Also,
there's.
you'll end up with the guy that'll be like, yeah, I'll do it, and then fuck everything up.
Mhm. So
So
is what
You
it
could
is.
always ask somebody who's got no issues at all with putting holes in brand new gear like me.
Oh, true. I just don't need it done with a shotgun there, Frugal.
No. We'll use
well, have you seen shotgun ammo? Trust me, you ain't using shotgun ammo. All right.
Not surprised.
Oh, gee. Stepping away from the ham radio stuff, set up some remote monitoring for my generator. So it took a little Raspberry Pi, and not the kind you eat. It's a little computer system wired into the generator. So now I've got remote monitoring, which is kind of nice, because the old the generator I do have didn't have any kind of connectivity with it, which is a bonus. It's good but bad, right? So I added a little bit of tech to it, and now I can monitor its entire status from anywhere in the world, which is kind
Does
of
it
fun.
make the exhaust smell more appealing? Is that
Of course.
raspberry?
Of course, it does.
Okay.
Yeah, it smells wonderful. And very fruity. It's great. Added to my propane tanks and gas stock up, but did not get the propane tanks at Walmart. And then just rotated my water preps, because that's a thing you got to do every once in a while.
Yeah.
So I did a lot less tech savvy stuff. Doesn't mean
It's
I
weird
didn't
for
do
you.
anything. Food rotation, fuel rotation, generator up and running. Still need to do a few things to the generator, but was waiting for a little bit less soggy ground to do stuff. So, the oil change, maintenance. Battery seems a little low, so I probably got to buy a new battery. Fuel rotation, because, it's been how many months, and want to stay on top of that. With everything that is happening in the world right now, kind of did a little bit of a deep dive of what can I do better to be better prepared, other than just listening to half the stuff we recommend on this podcast. But supplies, personal preparedness stuff, first aid stuff, stuff to prevent me from not being here anymore, and all that stuff. And reached out to a few people, Frugal, Brad, Darius was very helpful, where I was just like, hey, I'd like secure comms. Is there such a thing as secure comms? Like, you can't hack my stuff without being Eric. And
Define secure.
yeah, yes, that's the thing. And I was like, and I'm like, perfect. Tell me what to buy. Someone else figure it out. So that's been a
That's
process.
definitely not secure.
Yeah. Well, depends who you ask. But is there a way of doing that compared to just, your both hangs and regular things and that? Is there a way to, then there's this mesh thing. Still haven't figured it out. That's a thing. And
It's definitely a thing.
So, yeah. How secure? I don't know. Someone said it was better than my opinion, which was, I'll yell at you. So we're going down that rabbit hole, and then also making an effort. I've reached out to Frugal and Brad as well, of just being like, hey, I wouldn't mind taking like a weekend of take some stuff and let's take the camper, go somewhere we can be safe at night, but let's go put ourselves in the wood and let's go test out how do the comms work for something. How does evading something, using something for concealment, and all that stuff. Just out of
a prepper testing their gear. I have never heard of that.
This is weird. I don't agree.
So we're gonna practice on our yelling when we open up the Velcro patch on everything they hand you. But yeah, just I I want to be more prepared. We all talk about stuff. You can have all the guns and ammo and all the gear you want. If you don't know how to use it, you don't know how it works or whatever. So we want to make a conscious effort.
Well,
as
that's
a
what I got
family
you
to
for.
try. Yeah, I still don't know some stuff without whiskey. So
Serious
Keep it
question about
stocked
this
up.
trip.
yeah,
State dependent learning.
How many can
I-
openers are you bringing?
And there's a
All of
comment
them.
in the live chat here.
Brad's
I don't
coming.
know-
Does it matter?
I don't know why I can't highlight him, but basically he says with a long winter, working on mental preparedness.
Absolutely.
100%. It was
Oh.
a freaking
Uh,
long. I mean, we had snow well before Christmas, and I still have a little bit
Didn't
of snow
stop.
on my front
Yep.
lawn. So it has been a long, dark
Yes.
winter. So absolutely, mental preparedness is. I know that's a big thing for Gunny, and he's a big guy on the
Mhm.
mental preparedness thing, and
Huge.
yeah, that's
Yeah. So
100%.
no, I mean, if I want to go test stuff out and get more comfortable with stuff, I'm not going to do it when it's minus 40. I'll go do it when it's like a little nicer, and then work towards getting into those crappier situations, because when that time is needed, it's not weather dependent. But yeah, I just want to make a bit more of a conscious effort of being a little more prepared, being more comfortable with everything, even though I'm comfortable with everything I have. Yeah, just want to make a conscious effort. So figured, hey, why not, reach out to people that live close, that if something was to happen, we're probably going to try and get in touch, that I'm like, we should all get on the same page and see what I bring to the table way more than Brad and Frugal, and what Frugal brings more than me and Brad, and what Brad brings. Like, yeah, we'll work on that more mutual assistance group situation for when World War III kicks off, apparently tomorrow.
You said when? Okay, so I guess that could be in the past, right?
That's true.
I'll let- yeah, and then food rotation, cooking stuff, putting food, fridge, freezer, the usuals.
Good places for the food to be.
Maple buffalo, y'all got a picture of that.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Who wants that recipe? I told Frugal, he's like, I need that recipe.
Oh yeah, and I got to see it happen in action. So now I'm
Fantastic.
in the know.
Fantastic.
So, yeah.
What do you got, Frugal?
Oh man, what have I not had in the last while since I've been on?
A moment to sleep.
I wrote down in my notes. It's been a total life rebuild, man. I'm basically on a new career path. I'm now just doing IT for myself for my little small business. I've chosen to not be an employee anymore in IT for many reasons. I can probably expand on that later if you want, but basically it's all going to be hands-on from here on in. I'm back to the city of Ottawa, so that's a little odd for me because the bush was just beautiful. I spent the last year pretty much getting settled in and readapted to being in the city. And so a big part of that was for me to have a workbench I can use. I'm in a small space now. I don't have as much room as before. So being able to fix things and build things and modify things when I need it, mostly fixing things when I need to, because I hate buying new if I can avoid it. So the workbench is important. Plus, I like to reload. And with everything going on in the last few months, I don't know, the workbench now has an even better reason for being because it's also a reloading bench. So I'll probably do a video on that down the road because it was inspired by the Ultimate Reloader channel and his reloading bench that he did at his off-grid or his remote cabin where he's got his big range. So I was inspired by his build and I made my own, but much cheaper because we don't have as much nice steel things here in Canada as they do. Our friends down south do. So I had to make my own and that was really cool. So I'm probably going to include that in a video down the road. Been doing that, trying to get back into a job where I'm not reliant on computer tech every day. So more in the construction field, more back into the heavy equipment side of things and trucking side of things where I started a long time ago when I was a young lad. In the meantime, I've eliminated all of Windows on all of my devices.
How do you see the sun?
So I like that.
Isn't the window right beside you? I'm pretty sure I see blinds.
Yeah. So about about 10 years ago, I changed my policy and I decided that Windows and my data would not coexist anymore. And so the only thing that had Windows on it were gaming systems, because I still game now and then, mostly in the wintertime when opportunity to do stuff outside goes down. And you know what? I didn't want it at all anymore on my system, because if I can't get updates for it, I don't want it. So I decided I was just going to reformat everything and went over to Linux. And so I did that, and that was a ton of fun. So now I'm still on Linux and remaining on it. And now I'm just going to be focusing on building up my little businesses, marketing them, and maybe try to resurrect my dying channel. Man, we need some help on that channel.
I'm happy we could help with the crazy green screen prior to the show.
That was good. Yes, that was good.
We
Oscar the
helped
Grouch or
while.
Aliens. We couldn't decide which one. Yeah.
Yeah,
I know. Well, it's been some time since I've logged on, right? I don't even remember how long.
it's been a while for all.
It's
of
been
us.
a while for all of us. So I'm just happy that we could all get this to work, and we were somewhat on time. We were 5 minutes late.
Oh, that's
So,
not too bad.
But that's also because Frugal had a crazy alien butt as his screen, and we couldn't see him, so we had to,
Yeah, that was
the
interesting
alien
with the wait for him.
or-
And, yeah,
There was a little bit of browser hopping to be done, that's for sure.
it's true. It's true.
Yeah. But a good prepper has 2 or 3 or 4 browsers on his system at any one time, right?
It's all fun and games until you're married.
I do. I'm the only one I know who runs 4 browsers. Oh, Denny, you
Oh,
have a
boy.
lot going on
Yeah.
too.
Looks like it. Yes, as readjusting to life, lost 2 jobs within a week to do restructuring. Now I'm on day shift starting at 5 a.m., 10 hour, 4 days a week, 12 hours Friday and Saturday, plus working, getting ready to sell my, and then there we go. There's the last little bit. Sell my house and move into my dad's. So sounds like you got a lot going on, Denny.
That's a lot.
Wow.
You should take up
quite a
drinking.
people.
That's pretty rough losing
Yeah,
Losing
like
2 jobs in that
had a
amount
week.
of time. I mean, with especially with the cost of everything nowadays, like losing a job is
yeah.
bad
It-
news.
Yep.
Like I
Sure
have a
is.
job and I'm applying for jobs, and I think I've sent about a fucking 100 applications out. And I think I've gotten feedback from 4. 2 of them were good, but positions were canceled and this, that. And I'm just like, do I even bother looking? Like at this point, like it's a very hard market out there. So even though I said take up drinking, I did say that as a joke. Like happy there's something coming up. It's not hard. Happy it looks like you're getting on your feet and everything's going. And yeah, it's I don't wish that upon many people nowadays.
No, that's rough.
Yeah.
Denny, I've been restructured twice now, so I know what that feels like. And you know what? I don't know if this can inspire you, but I sat inside of me for the first couple of days thinking, okay, I got to figure this out. And I was inspired by my girlfriend's brother, who was also restructured during the pandemic. And what he was able to do is continue on running his side gig as his main gig. And his side gig was selling vintage clothes and CDs online. And that kept him going through the whole thing. So that inspired me. And right away, before I even was into the looking for new jobs line of work, I decided I was going to start and focus on getting the small businesses up and running. So the only advice I would say, because all of my friends are kind of in the same situation, we all think 2026 is going to be the year of the side gig. So if you've got any side skills, anything that you have natural talents, natural inclinations that other people don't, and you think that you can give some value in other people's lives doing that, well, that's what I figured I would do. And I decided, well, if I could start one business, I can start 2. And so why not? One of them's already gaining traction and I haven't even marketed yet. So that's the only advice I can give to anybody is what everybody I know has been doing, tightening their belts.
Well, you keep hearing the statement people say, you never get rich working for somebody else.
100%.
True. No, it's true.
You're dead on.
Denny's kind of followed it up with another comment saying went from 16 hours, 5 days a week to 10s. Get to spend more time with my kids. My wife got back to work as well, so he's got a positive outlook on things. That's good. That's the first starting point, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's
And I would say this to anybody, if you don't, or even if you have some, get yourself a skill. Go back to school for an electrician, a welder, a plumber, like whatever.
Trades.
You are always going to have a job. Like,
Trades.
I know all of these.
Trades
I know
are
a
in
bunch of
giant
people
demand.
that have gone through school for things like, and computers is okay, but going through things like social studies and this kind of stuff, and they walk out with a diploma, great, and they can't get a job because they got no skills.
Yeah, I mean, you make a fantastic Starbucks barista, but we have lots of those. But
I see Denny's got some skills in welding, and that's a good skill these days.
Huge.
Fabrication, everything.
Yep.
And anything that's trade related, you can't beat it. Like,
100%.
You look at 90% of people that build houses, they're all way up there. They're going to be quitting it in a few years. I was part of the generation that go to university. A trade is below you, right? Not many of us from my generation went to a practical college doing roofing, framing, plumbing, electrician,
right?
All the trades, automotive, truck and coach, you name it. It was not a thing. And now we've gotten so far from it that we have really young people that don't know what to do, and really old people that should just get out of there for their own good health. So no, for their own health, right? They can't do what they used to do, 10 years ago. So we got to find that happy medium of getting people in there now so that they can learn from the old people that have been doing this for years, and find it might not be everything OSHA, but understanding all that stuff. There's way too much of a disconnect that I wish I could go back to the trades or do a different trade, but for right now, financially, I need to be making a certain amount of money for it to be smart. So it's not an option right now, but I'm looking at options. Can it be part-time, online schooling, this, that, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, you can doing something with your hands is definitely the way to go right now. Basket weaving. We got lots of them. They make my coffee.
Basket weaving 101. Isn't that what most college sports players major in?
Right. I see Pete's Lost in the Woods is back in the comments as well. Hopefully not lost in the woods anymore. But he mentions that friends don't teach friends how to weld.
Well, Pete, I want to learn how to weld. I ain't your friend. Can you teach me?
Yeah, let's go.
It's a good skill to have.
My wife taught me how to weld.
Yeah, she told us. It's in the comments.
Yeah. So yeah, she did. It was one of the things I missed because I was good at something else. That when my shop teacher taught everybody how to weld, I was doing all the work that needed to be done. But yeah, so we learned how to weld, and we have a welder at the shop for work. And from time to time, I may just do random shit with the welder that doesn't make sense. But
hey, why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Speaking of welding, Pierre, you still have torches?
Depends who's asking. You a fan? You a cop?
No, not a cop.
Yeah, we still,
amazing.
We still got. I still have access to torches.
Sweet. We'll talk later.
Oh, fantastic! Now this kind of transitioned into the whole point of the episode. We just wanted to do a show to just catch up, let everybody know that we're still kind of around and we're still here, and see all the fun comments that are happening in the live chat, which is fantastic.
Yeah, it's been great.
Yeah, I know.
I saw a question there
so much stuff
about
I didn't do.
Oh yeah, somebody asked me about my version of Linux. I responded in the chat, but if anybody else is curious and trying or thinking about abandoning Windows and walking away from that, lately I've had a lot of fun with Nobara 43, the KDE flavor. The other one that I really like is CachyOS. Both of them.
Catchy. Okay.
Yeah.
Thought we were doing Linux.
Oh yeah, it's all Linux.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's got a whole different
Yeah.
fucking name. So is it Linux?
So
like,
It is.
so for,
I
so
run Mint just to really screw you around there, Pierre.
like
Oh god.
if I can evangelize for a second or two, and I have no horse in this race because Linux is a not-for-profit thing. So Linux was created by a programmer a long time ago who just wanted to create his own core. The very core of an operating system is called the kernel, and that's all he wanted. He just wanted his own kernel to run on his own little machine. And
Nothing to do with popcorn, Pierre. Don't even.
Yeah, it's just we're talking software components. And he built his own. And since he made it, though, in a public license meaning that it couldn't be owned by you or me or him, but it's owned and generalized in the public domain.
he hasn't met the government, has he? Everything is
Well, what's ironic, Pierre, is that foundation of open source kernel got married to a whole bunch of other open source software that already existed.
so,
And it began
we got
to
a
evolve.
gang of popcorn.
Yeah, well, that's how it started. It's a bunch of popcorn just mashed together.
I knew you were going to go there.
And over time, a bunch of people liked that popcorn, and they started coming up with different flavors and different ways to package it and ship it. And so it all kind of looked different and it behaves a little different here and there, but at its core, it's all the same stuff.
So
And in fact, I'd say 95% of the internet that you experience from the point of view of your device out is pretty much all running on Linux now.
So what you're saying is we have a bunch of popcorn that wears overalls and has buck teeth.
Well, what I'm
Different
saying,
flavored popcorn.
it's all out there, and it's been evolving a lot since it originally came out, and I started playing with it back in the 90s. Okay, this is old. This has been around a long time, but it's evolved so much now that it's kind of ready for people to use on their desktops and on their laptops. And if you're running an Android phone, guess what? You're already running Linux.
Or if you're running Mac.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, Mac is actually running Unix, which is just
FreeBSD.
One of my favorite old versions of Unix is FreeBSD, and yeah, at its core, that's what it is, and it's super ultra stable.
Okay.
So
So,
if you're tired of Windows,
so the question then I have
about
for you then,
6
Gunny, and
Yeah.
Eric would probably know too, and as a non-techie guy who runs Windows, how easy is a transition to a Linux or a Mint or something like that?
it's relatively easy, especially if you know somebody who can walk you through the process. For somebody who's never done it before, who's a non-techie, that could be really daunting because you've got to do things like prepare a boot stick. And if somebody's never prepared a boot stick before on Windows, you've got to probably download a utility and install it.
It's not a stick you hit somebody with, Pierre.
I prefer my boots being made of leather than stick.
It would be more like this USB stick here kind of dealy, So you'd have to prepare one of these to boot up with it. And then you'd want to make sure everything's compatible before you install it. Fortunately, that's really easy to do with most Linux distributions that I've
You're
used.
saying easy for a lot of
try.
shit here.
What's that?
I'm just
Because
saying,
it's
you're
so
saying
much easier than it used to be.
easy.
So
for a lot of shit, then you
what
go on
I'm
a
more getting
ramble, and
around
I'm
to
like,
is I won't be installing it, but I know somebody who might do it for me.
I work for beer, Jeff.
Once, yeah, or two, or
Maybe
three,
4.
maybe. No, we
I
won't
think
do more
it's
than
well-
3. Then you might screw it up.
Oh, wow.
I personally think it's well worth it,
Is
Jeff.
once it's there, is it kind of like a Windows system, or is it something
Absolutely.
totally?
Yeah.
It's absolutely
yeah.
similar now. And in fact, there's a lot of Linux distributions now where if you've got your favorite Windows utility that you use to do something or other, chances are you can download it, install it, and run it. It's at that level now. Now, in fact, I personally recommend you don't use Windows software at all because there's a lot of software you can use that's free, that's out there.
And it spies on you.
Already comes in Linux.
Okay, Google.
Stuff that's free for Windows spies on you, is full of viruses, and usually will prompt you to download other things, right? And what you can see here from Earth 2 and Beyond is kind of cool. Unless you use software that's only available on Windows, a 10-minute YouTube tutorial, about an hour at a time, and you're done. Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, it's about
in
fair.
my
Yeah.
experience, sometimes even easier.
Also,
Sometimes even easier than that. I personally install Linux on somebody's system in about half an hour or less. It's that quick.
Challenge accepted. I'll do it in 25.
also,
Now I say that even on slow system, on a fast newer system. Oh, and here's the other advantage of Linux that I want to share with everybody. You know how with Windows your system just ends up slowing down over time, no matter what you do.
nope.
Well, what
It's
happens
almost like it's
is,
by design.
yeah, you would think that. Well, what happens is that over time the code base grows, the amount of patches that get installed grow. The software evolves to use new features in CPUs. And what ends up happening is everything starts to bog down. And the first natural inclination you're going to have when your machine starts to bog down is you're going to think, well, that's normal, and I need a new system. And so you're going to think, I'm going to go and buy a new computer, right? Well, about 3/4 of the time, the same computer will continue to run perfectly, beautifully, even twice as fast as Windows if you install Linux on it. So you're able to extend the life of the existing hardware you already paid for. You've already got it in your possession. It's already broken in. We know it works. So now you've got the opportunity to give that same machine a second life because you can continue to use it. I got a great question here, a great comment about the landscape of dominant operating systems. So dominance, we can probably talk about percentage, right? Out there on the desktop, Windows is like 92%, I think 93% of the market is using Windows. Another 3 to 4% are probably using Mac, maybe growing. That shares maybe changed a little bit, but currently only about 5% of registered users on Steam, which is a major global gaming platform for those of you who might not be gamers. It supports Linux, and they're now seeing for the first time that percentage at 5%. So not many people are running Linux. If you're wondering, oh, am I, in the minority by still running Windows? No, you're in fact in the majority. And what usually keeps people back is because they're running proprietary software of some kind, and they might have concerns that it's not going to be compatible when they run into Linux. Well, here's the beautiful thing. If you think you've had that problem, somebody else has had it before you, very likely, and they've been adopting and using Linux a lot longer. So Linux and BSD, there's a little video on YouTube that kind of explains the genetics, if you like, where they come from. But I can kind of shorten, I won't try to duplicate those videos because looking at the family tree of Linux and Unix, it's insane. There are so many different branches and so many things that are branched off of the different versions of Linux and Unix that have been out there. But I can sum it up as this. Back in the day, there was a company that had the major monopoly of communications in North America. It was called AT&T. And they were huge.
That's still the thing, isn't it?
Well, yeah, kind of. Right. The monopoly thing, the way the landscape today in technology is largely shaped around what happened in the United States with AT&T. AT&T, see, at the time, they owned the switches for the phones. They owned the switch locations. They hired the switch operators. They fabricated the telephones you used. They owned the telephone lines. So end to end, they owned the entire thing. And over time, I guess they had too much control of the market, and that generated a lot of complaints. And so in order to make the market fair, make it a long story short, the United States took AT&T to court, and their large monopoly was broken up. And the part of it that was software-based, because those hardware switches over time became software-based, that software had to become non-private. And so what they did is, again, I'm kind of paraphrasing and shortening something. And very quickly, that code became public and it went to the University of California, Berkeley. And that's where Berkeley software distribution comes from. And that's what BSD is.
Look at that.
So, yeah,
Look at
that's
that.
where it all came from. AT&T got split up and its intellectual property went to the Berkeley University of California.
I think we have identified a new episode topic because there are lots of messages flying in the chat here asking about how to install it, how to get started, how to get things going. The
really
nerd in
exciting.
me is incredibly happy to see that.
Yeah,
Everybody has made my night.
yeah.
I know Pierre's head's about ready to explode. I know Pierre's head's about to explode. Yeah. But I think we could probably do an episode on how to set this all up.
I think that would be worth it. Between you and I, Eric, I'm sure we can cover an awful lot of the process and a lot of different angles.
I'm pretty sure we can.
And to set the hook for the next episode, I'm going to highlight Melissa's last comment here.
I was going to as well.
Yeah, I think this is awesome because the biggest questions everybody has is, can I still do my stuff? Right? Because that's all we care about, man, is can I still do my stuff? You know what? I don't care about the 75 other games that can be played on Linux. I only care about the 3 that I play. So to answer your question, Mel, yes, you can game on Linux. Almost everything can be played on Linux. If you can Google the title and play on Linux as a keyword attachment to that, you're probably going to see dozens of pages on how to run that game in Linux. Live streaming, a lot of the modern software
what we're doing right now.
Doing it right now. I'm streaming. Eric is streaming. The ones I mentioned tonight, Nobara and CachyOS, they stream no problem. Linux Mint streams no problem. You can also do office and business stuff, internet. You want to learn programming. You want to do scientific stuff. I don't think there's a better platform. If you want to do educational stuff, again, hard to do better than Linux. And the other thing I'm going to sell it on is uptime. Give me a machine, give me an OS from Windows that you can run for months on end without rebooting. I haven't seen it yet, but with Linux you can. So
you absolutely can.
Yeah,
I think we turn this into a whole new episode. I think that'd be fantastic.
I think I would love to do that. Linux for what we call it, Linux for newbies,
for dummies.
Linux for preppers.
Oh, yeah.
I like
just
that.
being a prepper show. Yeah. That kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Okay. If you need Eric to come over, I'll save you money on beer. Mel had mentioned in there that he'll probably do it for some maple buffalo dip.
It's true. It's very true. It's very true.
Way less intoxicated. He may need a small nap depending how much of that cheese goodness he eats. But way less intoxicated, it probably won't get fucked up. Reach out.
It's true.
We'll give you the lowdown on it.
I do have some homework for people though. If you're interested in potentially checking out Linux, start looking into something called updating your BIOS. And if that sounds like a foreign language to you, talk to your friendly techie. Right, they'll be glad to help you do it.
Prior to going live about BIOS updates. All right,
there you and I will be talking, guaranteed.
Bro, like you're gonna be a headache on math and everything on a Sunday.
I'm just cognizant of the time, and I think we should move along into Jeff's weather update. But it has been great to just be able to catch up with everybody and make sure everybody sees that we are still around and still able to live stream, and the podcast is still a thing, even though we had a little bit of a hiatus.
And I still don't know shit about fucking technology.
Nothing changed.
No worries.
Nope.
Yeah, so I'll keep it really brief for the weather blurb. We're at the start of a multi-day severe weather event that's basically going to run through the central U.S. all the way up to the Canadian border, places like Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, even up into Iowa and the Ohio Valley. Tuesday, I think, is going to be the big day. There's lots of weather techie, which funny, that's the only tech I know. Things like CAPE, and things like that, and the thermogenics of storms and that is really high on Tuesday. So I think Tuesday's a day that we could see a tornado outbreak. I hope not. Obviously, I in those kind of things, I always hope I'm wrong, but pay attention to the Discord. I post a lot of stuff in the general weather tab when it looks like things are going bad. So if you're not on Discord, get on there, and I do my updates under the general weather tab.
Fantastic. Well, with that, I'll bring episode number 273 of the Canadian Prepper podcast to an end. You can find the podcast on iTunes, Spotify, or really your favorite podcast app. I'm pretty sure they still publish us on all of those. Please do submit a review. It does encourage the algorithm to promote us shortly and then shove us back down to the bottom where we can't be found. But, that's just the way it works.
And we do record these shows live on YouTube, Facebook, I guess if you have to. If you want an early peek at the shows, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, not Canadian Prepper, Canadian Prepper Podcast. Click the notifications tab, gives you an alert when we're going live. If anybody wants to reach out to me, it's feedback@prepperpodcast.ca because I cannot be trusted with my own email.
It's probably because you don't understand Linux like me.
True. Yep.
And if anybody wants to reach out, you can find me at batbradcpp@gmail.com or on the Discord.
You can reach me off the wall customizing at Tickety. I don't know where. Just look off the wall customizing. You'll see either me or my wife. I might be or may not be in my underwear. That's beside the point. The Discord. You can find me Monday nights on CPP, the Patriot podcast, where we discuss critiquing the government. And obviously, Frugal will be here at some point. I have to give him alcohol and food for him to explain the last half hour of this fucking goddamn show, because I don't get it. Right? Like, God. So obviously, if you're doing anything with Linux, I don't know, reach out to Frugal. He'll pass off the fucking message. Like, God damn it.
God love you there.
Oh, amazing.
Oh, fuck.
Here's that.
And you can find me, Frugal Gunny, on YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, Instagram, CPP Discord, and now on offgridschool.ca.
And obviously on Linux.
Yeah, clearly on Linux.
And just before we quickly end it, just to throw in the comment there that the last comment. Basically, folks, the world's a different place right now. Keep your stick on the ice. We're all in this together. We are we've got
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. Things are not what they were 5 years ago, and
Definitely not.
if we're gonna get through this, we're gonna get through it as a team. There's the old adage, there's no I in team. So
100%.
And step one is installing Linux. So you can reach me at feedback@prepperpodcast.ca. And thanks for joining us. It's great to be back, and we're hoping to get back on a regular schedule here and get posting shows again for everybody. So until next time, be prepared, stay safe,
and keep learning.